All right, guys. So we have Mega coming with you, coming for you. We have Mazimov. He's going to be doing any percent, and you're going to get to see a lot of some of the exploits in Mega Man 2. It's a tough game to run. There's a lot of what's called zips to learn, and hope you enjoy. With that being said, we're gonna start the clock. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. There's gonna be a slight delay between my commentary and stream, but for the most part, I think we'll be okay. So he starts off with Flashman. This is very important to set up a lot of the zips that you need to skip portions of these stages. You're going to be needing the 3 items. So you will see him do Flashman first, followed by Heatman, and then Airman, as they give you item 3, item 1, and item 2, respectively. Item 1 especially is going to be used in a lot of the zips, a lot of the zip setups. So Flashman's pretty straightforward. There's no zips in this stage. You're avoiding a lot of the contact with the mechas, and then here we're skipping this entire section by having these kind of precise jumps. They can get kind of difficult to get used to, but a lot of the runners, it's kind of second nature. A lot of them start off with Flash first. So the fight itself, also, he takes 7 shots to kill. He'll try to get 5 before getting hit, and then finish him off with the extra 2. So that was a pretty good Flash fight. And next we'll see the very first zip of the game in Heatman. This is going to be the only time that you see an item 3 zip, hopefully, in this stage. Technically, you can do the Woodman stage with the item 3 as well. However, it's a little more efficient using item 1. So one of the big differences between Mega Man 2 and Rockman 2 is that Rockman 2 is Mega Man on hard mode. The Japanese version does not have a normal mode. They just have one mode basically, and that's their normal, and it's our hard. The text screen is much slower. That's why a lot of the Rockman 2 runners, Mega Man 2 hard mode runners will go with Rockman 2. Coming up is a very difficult item 3 jump. We'll see if he gets that. Oh, he just missed it. You could save a few seconds there, actually, if he had landed that item 3 on that first platform. And now we're going to see our first zip of the game. And there we go, he nailed it. That saves that whole section where you have to jump over those pillars there, so saves a good amount of time. So next we have the Yoku blocks. These spawn based off of where Mega Man is. So he's going to try to stay towards the right of the block, as right of the block as he can, just so that they can spawn a little bit quicker. That is a very tough portion of the game. A lot of people use the item 2 to skip it there by going Airman first, or Airman second rather, and then using the item 2 to go over that. However, you can actually save about 10 seconds from your run by optimizing those Yoku blocks. So Heatman, there's a lot of RNG with Heatman. He can delay, and he's invincible for either 30, 60, or 90 frames. So we're going to hope to get a lot of 30 frames here, and he will take damage there at the last hit, as to minimize the distance Heatman has to travel. So saves a little bit of time. But yeah, so the text screens between the Rockman version and the US or English Mega Man version save about 46 seconds. So yeah, I'll actually notice that a lot of the Rockman 2 times on the RTA leaderboard just as good as the Mega Man times. If it's more difficult, it's usually because of the text, the difference in text. So Airman is kind of a notorious stage for resetting in. I know for me personally, it's probably the stage I reset the most in. These jumps are very difficult. Here he's gonna, oh, he's actually gonna go for the fast air. Alright. So, he's using the item 1 here and taking damage from these clouds. Ah, that's too bad. He was so close there. Alright, we'll see how he handles this. So he doesn't have the flash stopper to get past the first part of the stage. And let's see if he goes for fast air again. I don't think he'll have enough item 1s. So, and this strategy is a little different. This strategy is used in the zipless runs. As you usually go Airman first or Airman second. And what he's doing there is he's actually spawning these clouds early. So he is saving time by doing that. And you'll notice the exact position. He's waiting right there until the propeller jumps, passes the cloud. And what he just did there was called a pause buffer. Basically what happens is when you pause the game, it resets your fall velocity, allowing Mega Man to travel a little bit more distance in his jumps. Otherwise, he would have probably fallen once again. So you can you'll see the pause buffer utilized a few times in this run. So there's a lot of RNG to Airman as well. He has quite a few different patterns that he can give you. I believe it's 5 different patterns. So we'll see how he cooperates for Nazi here. And it can be a huge difference in your time. Alright, so wasn't the worst pattern in the world. He'll probably get a 3 cycle on this. Yep. Not bad. Ideally, what you want is sort of a the first tornado to come in low and to the left, and the far tornado to be up towards the right, and it gives you enough space to not take damage, jump in between them, and you can actually jump into the tornado, damage boost, and then you know, you won't travel too far. You won't get pushed back from the tornado. You can just lay into Airman. So next, we're gonna go into the Crashman stage, and this is one of the more fun zips you'll see. He's gonna go slightly out of bounds and utilize the item 1 to get kind of in a position where the item 1 is pushing him up, but he is underneath a wall, so he gets pushed into the wall. Alright, he nailed it. So, essentially what happens is the game, he is on a different screen than what it appears. The game itself is keeping up with where he's at, however the screen he is on is not keeping up. You'll notice right there he also switched to Heatman. So Heatman's weapon, if you let off the weapon right as you're dying, and that's what's called a death warp, it skips the death animation. So he actually died right there. We're going to do that once again in this game. So We have 2 death warps, one here in Crash. We'll have another one coming up in Wood. And because this route requires 2 deaths, he is going to be grabbing an extra life. An extra life in the Quickman stage. Now you'll notice what he did right there, jumping off those item 3s. He is placing those item 3s and is landing on top of it immediately. There's a kind of a cool property with ladders in this game where when you jump off screen and you hold down instead of holding up as you normally would, and then when the screen transitions and you press up, it boosts you up above your position. So what's happening is he's placing the item 3, then pressing up, and it gives him a little boost so that he's automatically on that item 3. You'll see this again in Wily 4. But that's a nice little trick there, and it helps save time. Otherwise, you'd have to climb up to the position of the item 3. So that's a pretty precise move. Next, we have Quickman. As I mentioned, he has taken. He's actually had 2 deaths now in Airman, so he's definitely going to need this extra life in order to even accomplish the Woodman zip. Another thing you'll kind of notice is that he is trying to jump off the ledges. That's because there's a little tiptoe effect. And here he sets up the zip, and he nailed it. Alright. So, you'll notice the lights are out. In this stage, those enemies that he's skipping right over, they're the ones that light up the room, but he skipped that whole part. So the room remains dark. So he's doing this entire laser section with the lights off. This is incredibly difficult, and you do need Flashman there in order to get past this section. Otherwise, those lasers would kill you right away. And this is probably one of the most impressive things you'll see in this run. He's setting up a zip in the dark, and you get it. He got it. So next we'll get to see the Quickman battle, which again will be in the dark. Alright, good fight. So next up we have Metal Man. Metal Man is a pretty straightforward level. There's a few zips in it. I believe there's only one that Mazzy will be doing. The other zips don't really save that much time. But this one zip does save, in fact, a lot of time, as you're skipping the whole conveyor belt section. The conveyor belts can be very slow as, you know, you're traveling backwards and fighting against it. So he gets to skip all this, he gets to skip all the drills, and there he goes. He nailed it. So here he'll likely be switching to item 2. And this strat over here saves a little bit of time. Just, you know, you get to avoid these clowns and having to jump over them rather than go underneath. And generally using the item 2 is much quicker than just walking and jumping. You actually want to stay on the ground as much as possible in this game, as walking is faster than jumping. However, you're gonna use the jump over ledges to avoid the tiptoe. So there are strategic jumps. Now he's actually gonna be able to freeze Metal Man in place here by holding B and not passing the middle of the screen. So that's a nice and easy fight. Alright, next we got Good Wood. as it's affectionately known. So this is where you're gonna see kind of the craziest Zip in the game. He's gonna be going way out of bounds, and the screen that it looks like he is in is going to be nothing like the screen he's actually in. Now this part's very important. He's hitting flash at the last possible moment on that screen as to not spawn the Panther. He's zipping through there to give him a little bit extra time, because what we don't want, and he made it, you can get stuck on that Panther and have to switch to metal to kill him. But he nailed it, so we're good to go. So he used the item 3, and here we go. The start of the Zip. Don't be worried, he knows exactly where he is. Once again, he's switching to Heat Man here. Remember in the crash stage I told you that it skips a death animation? And you'll see that in just a second as he does his, he sets up his death warp. There we go, he died and he landed right by the boss room. Alright, good wood there, Mazzy. So we are wrapping up the Robot Masters with Bubble Man. This stage is pretty simple. It probably has the easiest Zip in the game. Not that it's easy, though. Alright, he's gonna try to jump over this crab with the item 1 coming up. I find this Zip extremely difficult. Not Zip, that jump. I always mess that up, but he nailed it. And that was a little too high, so he's gonna place another item 1, but he didn't lose much time there at all. He immediately recognized that the item 1 was too high, placed a second one, and he's good to go. That extra life there actually would have been nice, because now, because he had a death in the Airman stage, even though he picked up that extra life in Quickman, you know, he's hanging on a thread there right now, so hopefully we will not see any more deaths. I don't think we will. So you'll notice he spaces that out a little bit. He doesn't just spam the metal the metal blade. That's because most of these enemies have invincibility frames. So he is spacing his shots out such that he is killing the boss as quickly as possible. However, he's not wasting his metal blades, and he's not unnecessarily creating lag. Bubble Man stage has a lot of lag. So the fewer items you have on screen, the less lag you have. Being conservative with and not just mashing does save time. So we're on to the Wily stages and Mega Man 2 music. Best song in the game. Best probably song in the Mega Man series. IMO. So the birds, this is important, the birds always spawn in the direction you're facing. So notice he turns left, and the bird spawns from the left. This is so that he doesn't have to deal with any of the other birds. That one bird is trailing him, and he doesn't have, 3 different birds dropping on you at that point. So that's a nice little little trick that you can do here. You're gonna see our vertical zip here. He's gonna skip ahead a whole screen. And he nailed that. Climbing ladders is extremely slow. So when you can skip ladders or jump, typically you do so. So he's going to be going for a very difficult zip here. And it looks like he's going to... he just missed it. That's a very, very difficult zip to pull off. Now the Wily stages are nerve-wracking for many reasons, as your item energy persists through the whole entire Wily segments. So you can't, it doesn't refill after every stage like it does for the Robot Masters. So item 1 being so crucial into setting up zips, and he's used 9 of them so far in this stage. So he is going to be taking some big item energy, which typically you try to avoid as it slows down and kind of pauses the game. But it's going to be necessary in the save time to be allowed to set up more zips. On to Wily 2. Continuing on with the best music in the game. Another extra life. They're just taunting him at this point. So here he's going to refill his item 1, take damage. This is a dangerous zip, but he's going for it. Oh no. It's a game over. Oh, it's not a game over. Somewhere he got an extra life in there. Apparently I was not paying enough attention. Alright, I think he's going to kill himself here, get the game over. Just, when you game over, all your energy is refilled. He didn't lose a lot of time there because he recognized right away he didn't have the energy. So he just jumped right on the spikes, reset, and he doesn't need to pick this up now. He can just proceed with the item 2. Gets his E-Tank, he'll get an extra life. Now we're coming up on another drill section, much like Metal Man, but just like Metal Man, we're essentially going to be skipping it due to the flash stopper power. So we can just run right through this section, and it's kind of nice. So this piece is a little dangerous. Basically, he's going to be... Oh, no, he's going to go with the item 1 strat because he has the refill there. Oh, he will be damage boosting off these. So he is left now with 1 shot. He cannot get hit by the next boss, which is Pico Pico-kun. He gets hit even once he dies. So that is a dangerous strategy, but it is the most efficient strategy for the item 2 method. Of crossing that big cap there with a spot. But you do this enough times, and the blocks spawn exactly same place every time. So he's obviously very used to where they show up. So, good fight. He didn't get hit. And we are on to Wily 3. He switches to quick right away here. We're actually not going to need anything else through the entire stage. You can save a few frames by actually switching your weapons right at the beginning of the stage like that. So he takes advantage of that property and does it right there. You'll notice he's jumping out of the water every time, and he's not doing jumps. That's because you actually move a lot faster when you're out of the water, so he's trying to take advantage of that by jumping out each time. And here, he's going to try to stay to the left of the spikes without hitting them. This way, he will drop right down to the lower platform without having to walk across. Again, it saves a little bit of time, but, you know, every second counts, so. Alright, here's Guts' tank. He takes, I believe it's 7 boomerang shots to kill. But he's invincible until just the third wheel passes the screen. He got a 2-cycle kill right there. Technically, 1 cycle is possible, however, it's extremely difficult. 2-cycle is also very difficult, but he nailed it. Alright, next we have Wily 4, which is endearingly called Purple Hell. I don't know if it's actually endearingly called that or not, but this is a for a lot of casual runs, this is a very frustrating stage in the game, as you know, you have exactly enough crash bombs to kill the final boss. You can't miss a shot, essentially. However, you'll see in this run that he actually has more than... Here comes another zip. He's going to skip the whole spike section there, which saves a significant amount of time. He has another zip coming up here. Let's see if he gets it. Yep. There you go. Just pushes you ahead a little bit. Stage is very nerve-wracking. It is known as the most difficult stage in the game. Along with Airman, kills a lot of runs. So you'll notice he's damage boosting off these guys to skip having to wait for the platform. That saves a significant amount of time than the alternative, which is just waiting for it to come around. And here you have a very important zip. This zip is important for a lot of reasons, in that instead of using the item 1 in the boss room, he could potentially land on the top platform and get kind of a head start on the boss, if you will, because that top left boo beam is going to be a hard one to kill. He actually fell down there. It's kind of tough to see. It flashes on and off the screen. So, what I mentioned there about, the, having just enough crash bombs is important, because you'll notice that he is kind of strategically, he's going to use an E-tank there because he's taking a lot of damage. He's going to try to take out the wall and one of the boo beams with a single shot, as to conserve some of his crash. Alright, so he's fallen down there, but right. He'll be okay. Alright, so he has to break through this wall. He's kind of gonna... This is kind of the buster-only strat there. Fortunately, he got the he got two walls at once there, so that was very helpful. Otherwise, it would have been difficult for him to finish the level. Now he's gonna have to do what's called a damage transfer here, where he kills... Oh, he missed it. That's alright. He'll have to cause an intentional death to retry the level. So a damage transfer, what happens is he's going to place one crash bomb, and while the crash bomb is exploding on one boo beam, he is going to physically take damage from another one, and that will kill the second one. It transfers the damage that he absorbed into the second boo beam, which is kind of a ridiculous name. But this is the reason why this stage is so difficult. You have just enough crash bombs to complete the level, and missing one is pretty tough to the run. So we took another death there. see what he decides to go with. Doesn't have any more item 1, so he's just gonna kind of safely walk across by taking damage first. I think what he's gonna try to do is farm crash energy. You should have plenty of the quick boomerang or air, and those will quickly take out the mechas that we saw him skip earlier. Oh, he has no nothing to damage boost from, so he kind of has to wait for these guys. All right. Alright, you made it. Alright, so he's gonna go with the quick boomerang, alright, so he's gonna want to switch to crash here. He's gonna want to refill that. He's probably gonna do this a couple times. Oh, good, he got another one. So he'll need one more. He's gonna need some item 1 too, actually. I would go in with some. Oh no, he's gonna go for it. Better get the. Hopefully he gets. Oh nope, that's right. So when you die, it does leave the. The walls. So hopefully, I think we're gonna get to see the damage transfer. All right, he takes damage, and he runs into the second one, and he damage transfer is not easy thing to do. Nice job, Mazzy. The good thing about this is he has a lot of crash energy, as he did not have to break the walls. So we'll see if he goes with the metal strat for the final, not the final boss, but for Wily Machine, or if he goes with the crash kit. So here we have the refights. Pretty straightforward, but same thing as last time. Quickman can be kind of a tricky boss, because, you know, it's kind of hard to predict. He won't jump more than 3 times in a row. He'll start running straight after that. Notice that's what I was talking about with the air tornado patterns. He took damage on purpose to fall straight down and not get pushed back by the wind. Excellent heat fight. Now onto Metal Blade. The next 3 bosses are all going to use kill. The Bubble Man, hopefully he cooperates. And toughest fight in the game right here. Kappa. He just takes 1 Metal Blade to kill. He's weak to his own weapon. Alright, he's taking the extra health there just in case. Switches to Crash. And this has 2 phases to it. As you can see, Crash Bomb. By placing it in the right spot as he's moving back, he keeps continuously taking damage from the explosions from the Crash Bomb. That allows you to shoot 1 in the first phase, 1 in the second phase to kill him very quickly with 2 Crash Bombs. So that's the kind of the importance there of being efficient with Wily 4, as it allows you to have extra Crash Bombs to use on the Wily machine. Unfortunately, it does not have enough item 1 to do the last zip, so he's just going to kind of walk through the stage. By staying to the right of the screen the whole entire time and knowing where to jump, you will never get hit by the little dropping lava. If that's actually what it is, lava. Alien is actually only weak to bubble. Everything else heals him. So we're just gonna wish that he does not hug the alien. So you want to get hit by these bullets because they do a lot less damage than touching him himself. Good game, Mazzy. Touching him himself takes off pretty much 3/4 of your life instantly. And that is time, by the way. Good game. Good game. So
GG.
that was the GG.
34-52 it seems. Probably more like a 34-50.
Yeah. Yep.
That
Good run.
purple hell was it did just what it wanted to happen.
Yeah, people get to see how difficult that stage is.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Maz, for your run, and thank you, Jackass, for the commentary. That's a pretty good commentary.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, next we've got a 3-way super hot race with Loxu, Elisaraptor, and Is Bullets. You get to see the famed 3-way 16:9 layout. I hope everyone's ready for that.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for submitting, and thanks for coming. Now we're going to switch right into our transition real quick.